Look, up in the sky! It's a bird! It's a plane! It's Robbie and Andy writing songs about Superman the movie! Hello, and welcome to the Royds Revue podcast. I'm Rob.
And I'm Andy.
And we are back once again talking about 1978's Superman the movie. Andy, are you feeling groovy?
You know I is, Robbie.
We need a little groove in this movie because it's the 70s.
Yeah.
Hold there, Lex Luthor. Luthor has a big afro and shit. I turned into a blaxploitation Superman film.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
I think it's unwarranted.
Do you think it'd be good, though?
Probably.
Shafterman. Because it's like Shaft and Superman. Shaftman! A giant cock.
I think we're onto something, Robbie. And by we, I think it's just you. I'm not taking any credit for this.
Andy, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Robbie?
I'm doing well. Had you seen 1978's Superman the movie before?
Of course, Robbie. Of course. How about you?
No. This was the first time I had ever seen it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
My father always spoke about this movie when I was a kid, but I just never got around to seeing it. As a kid, I was never a big Superman guy. The older I've gotten, the more I appreciate Superman.
Yeah, same.
But as a kid, I was just kind of like, oh, so what? He's just a guy who can't be beat.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, no, that's the good stuff.
Yeah, there's great stories there. Did you watch the animated series?
I've seen episodes, but not as much as I've seen Batman, the animated series.
Yeah. Batman, the animated series, I think is, like, objectively better. But Superman is also really, really good. I own all 3 seasons of the Superman animated series. It's excellent.
Yeah, like, I've also seen, like, the Justice League series from around that time, too.
Excellent.
Yeah, so I do know, and I know nobody has bad things to say about it. And from what I've seen, I have liked, but I just haven't watched as much as I've watched Batman, the animated series.
Yeah, I mean, it's the creators of Batman. It's Bruce Timm and Paul Dini and friends. But their voice casts are always, like, really good. Like, they had Gilbert Gottfried as Mr. Mixel, that guy.
Mixolopolis, sort of? Yeah, I know who you're meaning, yeah.
Mixel Spitalik or whatever.
Yeah, that's great casting.
It is excellent casting. They also had Brad Garrett as Lobo. Excellent casting.
Who played Bizarro?
Me, believe it or not.
Dude, you were a child.
Yeah.
I'm good guy too. That's Andy as Bizarro.
Yep. I don't remember who played Bizarro, but
that's fair.
Yeah, great show.
I put you on the spot with a pretty tough question.
Yeah, I mean, it also had one of the best dark sides I've seen, you know?
There is no dark side, really. Matter of fact, he's all dark. No, I'm talking about strictly dark side. Matter of fact, he's all dark.
Yeah, he's a dark dude. Yeah, he's like a Rockman.
There is no dark side, really. Matter of fact, he's gray. He's more of a grayish tint. Like, all right, I think you're missing the point of this album here, guy.
Yeah, man, you're ruining it. You're ruining it for everybody. Well, Robbie, what year did this movie come out?
That is a great question. And this movie came out in the year of our Megazord, 1978.
Wow. Well, I'm gonna start at number 2.
Dude, that's a short list.
Isn't it?
Shorter than my attention span.
Wow, shorter than my Ween Daddy.
That doesn't make sense, because it's a list.
Well, number 2 is Superman.
Royds. Here are the top 2 movies of 1978. You'll never guess what number 1 is.
Could you guess what number 1 is?
I have no fucking clue.
Okay. Well, Superman made Worldwide, $134 million. It's probably more than that. Definitely more than that.
It is more. Worldwide, it is more than that.
Yeah, what do you got?
$300.5 million.
Yeah, that sounds right. I'm on Box Office Mojo, and they're always wrong.
I'm on Box Office Mojo Jojo.
Well, the budget, according to Gwaggle, is $55 million.
Yes, one of, or if not the most expensive movie at the time.
Oh, for sure, and 7 years ago. But, easily made its money back. It's Superman.
Yes.
What are you talking about?
And the budget was used well, I will say.
Yeah.
Looks good.
This movie looks great. If you watch the others, Superman 1 and 2 look great. And they just, started cutting the budget after that. And they start to look really bad.
I've never...
3 and 4,
this is the first time I've seen this one. I've never seen 2, 3, or 4.
Wow.
Yeah. I've never even seen Superman Returns with Brendan Routh.
There's a few cool scenes, but... Number 1 is Grease.
Tell me more, tell me more. Did he shoot laser beams from his eyes? Tell me more, tell me more. Did you get between those thighs?
Yes, that's pretty much the whole movie.
Ba-do, ba-ba-do.
You know that Barry Gibb wrote the music to that?
Really?
Yeah.
I've never seen all of Grease. I've only seen, one time, a friend was like, oh, you gotta watch Grease. It was a lady friend. And I was like, all right. And I fell asleep immediately. And just never had much interest. I did see the play version of it a long, long time ago. In a galaxy far, far away.
Wow.
Yeah. It was Star Wars Grease.
That sounds confused.
It was weird, It was a lot of
That was all the music.
Yeah, that was the entire soundtrack.
Wow.
Yeah, every now and then they just throw the name of a Grease song in there.
Okay. All right. I mean, I like Grease. Grease was
good.
Hey,
Olivia Newton-John, why don't we go hang out with a bunch of our 16-year-old friends who look 40?
Yeah.
It's my John Travolta.
It's pretty good.
Thanks.
It's pretty good. Should we talk about Superman 1978?
Let's just dive right into it. This little black and white opening is really cool.
Yeah, a kid opening a comic book and reading, and then it's just like, that's the world. It's just like in a comic book. That's cool.
It's great that they aren't ashamed that this is based on a comic book.
Yeah, that, as we see later on, like in the 90s, early 2000s, it's like poo-poo on the comics.
Right. But we get right into it, and right as this movie starts, they're telling you, this is a comic book movie.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. They are not just pissing on the source material. They're telling you up front, we are going to be honest to the source material. We're going to stick with it. And for the most part, they really do.
Yeah, this is the most Superman's ever been.
Yeah. And
this
it's better for that.
Oh, for sure.
And I think this opening informs a lot of the rest of the movie, where I'm not questioning certain choices anymore, because I'm going, yeah, it's a comic book.
Sure. Yeah. I think it's just it's bare bones in the best way, Like,
yeah,
it's
they dug up a cave full of bear bones. And they're like, oh, a bear must have died during hibernation.
Yeah, that's exactly what I meant, dude. Are you in my head?
Yeah, which I'm a little annoyed because we're talking about Superman, Andy,
yeah, I'm
not
trying
the
to stay
Revenant.
on track. You're right. That's my bad, Robbie.
Yeah,
that's my
on
bad.
you.
Hey,
I will say,
I found your bones in a cave.
Robbie, I will say I am furious. But yeah, it's like there's really no other way to describe it other than like that. That's fucking Superman, dude.
Yeah, 100%. And we get into this opening theme. Incredible.
John Williams just crushing it all the time. When is he not crushing it?
Name a bad John Williams score. You can't. Write us in, roydsrevue@gmail.com. Or if you're watching on YouTube, comment down below. What's a John Williams score you don't like? Or what's your favorite John Williams score? That's called engagement, Andy. I've learned about that recently.
That's pretty good.
In my podcasting class I take at Harvard.
Harvard?
Yeah, I go to Harvard, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. We open up on Krypton. Jor-El, played by Marlon Brando, is exiling General Zod, played by Terrence Stamp, and some of General Zod's goons. I didn't catch their names. General Zod and the group, they're getting banished to the Phantom Zone for insurrection or something. Do they ever specify what they've actually done here? Or they're just trying to take over Krypton, right?
That's what it sounds like. It sounds like he was like a cult leader and he like led an insurrection and it failed. That's what it seemed.
This movie loaded itself up with heavyweights.
Yeah, but also, as I was watching this beginning part, I was like, did I put on the wrong one? Because I know that General Zod and those guys, they come back for the sequel.
Yes.
So, like, this is setting up a sequel, like, already, like, to begin with. And I was like, that's really cool.
The first two movies were shot together originally.
Yeah.
You know, and then in between the two, some stuff went down between Donner and Brando, and they had a fight with the studio and whatever. And so, but it's really cool setting, because you're sitting there going, oh, these guys must be the baddies of this movie.
Nope. Pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. Like, cool world-building kind of stuff. And, but yeah, I did pause and check. I was like, this is Superman 1. Okay, this is Superman 1. Okay, okay. Very cool. Very cool.
Krypton looks incredible. These opening shots outside of Krypton, inside of Krypton, they look great. We have some great miniature work in this movie.
Yeah, and the like the luminescent suits, they're like glowing.
They're so cool.
Very, very cool. And I like how Marlon Brando, Jor-El, has the S on his chest. That's
not
cool.
just that, but he also's got the little curl in his hair too.
Yeah.
It's like a family trait, the little curl. Brando, even when he doesn't care, he's awesome. He's just commanding the screen here, and he's just talking.
Yeah, apparently he, like, notoriously is a very lazy man.
Yeah.
And he had the script written on, his lines written on the baby's diaper. Because he was like, he refused to memorize his lines.
He was crushing it.
Yeah.
Didn't take away from the movie.
The thing is, he said, like, hey, let's film rehearsal to Donner. And he's like, why? He's just like, you never know. And it was just for him to get out of work. He's like, I'm going to do this one thing, and then we'll do it like 2 more times, and then that's it. We don't have to, why rehearse when we could just film it? It's because he was lazy. But that's the take they used, was the first one. So he was right. He was lazy, but he was right.
Well, that's the thing. I kind of appreciate it. You know, sometimes I'm a tinkerer. I tinker with stuff that I'm making a lot, and I always find I screw it up after I've tinkered with it.
Okay.
And a lot of times, the first one's the best. And it's similar in, like, baseball. Like, when you're batting, a lot of times they say, that first pitch you get in at bat might be the best that pitch you're going to get all at bat. Because they want to get strike one on you.
Yeah, and that makes sense.
And in art and stuff like this, you know, you come into it with an idea, and you do that first take, and it's the purest form of that idea. And then you kind of start going, well, what if we do this? What if we do this? Well, let's try it this way. And next thing you know, you've been tinkering with this same thing for hours on hours on hours, maybe even days, and you wind up hating it.
Yeah.
And now you're questioning, is this even good to begin with? Instead of just saying, no, we made this, we're going to do 1 or 2 takes, because that's like the Clint Eastwood style when he directs. We're doing 1 take and we're getting out of here.
Yeah.
You know, come in here, do your best on this take, and let's go. And I think when you see stuff like that, like certain movies, like when Stanley Kubrick would do it to try to get more out of his actors, it's like, I understand it, but it did, like The Shining, that helps the movie. But in a case like this, we don't need, you know, Marlon Brando knows he doesn't have to do 50 takes of this.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's also laziness can breed new creative ways to try things.
Yeah.
Like give a lazy person a task and they'll find the easiest way to do it,
Absolutely.
So like, yeah. And yeah, I mean, I find tinkering, like you said, can just, like, you can have a core idea. Like, when I was trying comedy, like, I would have a joke, but then I'd think about that joke, and I'm like, it doesn't make sense, and I'd throw it out. But, like, if I were to just say it, it's like, yeah, that's funny.
Right.
Just don't think about it too much. And, like, if you just say it and move on, it's a good joke. I could have used it, but I'd always just, like, overthink it.
And that's the thing, because if someone comes up to you after you've performed a stand-up comedy set, and they say, hey, this didn't make sense. Dude, right. You came to see comedy. It's a joke.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? What, do you watch the movie Airplane going, none of this doesn't make sense?
Yeah, just overthinking is, it could be good, could be not great.
Yeah, like, I'm not saying you don't play around with things.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying sometimes you get that core idea, and especially a thing like this, like, he's not doing action, man. He's literally reciting lines.
Yeah.
And he's Brando. He can recite lines.
Yeah. That's kind of his thing.
Yeah, exactly. We then cut to the council. They're mad at Jor-El because he is saying Krypton is doomed, and they're threatening to punish him if he causes a panic by saying the planet is doomed. I don't really understand this now, because it's just one of those weird things, like, were they just going, we got Brando, we need him saying as many lines as possible?
So the whole thing is, he's like, the planet's gonna explode. And they're like, where's your proof? And it's like, yeah, where is your proof? Seriously.
He blames the red sun. Like, he blames the sun at one point.
Okay. But there's got to be some sort of diagnostics here. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
You can't just be like, we're all going to die. How do you know?
Yeah, they're like, hey, listen, you're really charismatic and everything, but we need some evidence, dude. You are just kind of creating a panic by saying this. And if we all evacuate the planet and it doesn't explode, that's going to look really bad on the whole council.
We're going to be mighty miffed.
We're going to be the mighty, mighty boss tones. Like, they're a ska band, right?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't even know.
But why would they become that?
Because there's a lot of them, and ska bands have like 40 people in them.
That's true.
That's it, Jor-El. You are banished to a ska band.
No.
He gets a little fedora and a trumpet.
Yeah, he starts skanking.
Jor-El and wife. What is Superman's mom's real name?
I want to say Kara Zor-El, but I think that's Supergirl. I think that's his cousin, Supergirl. Maybe it's Mom L?
It could be Mom L.
Email in or comment below on YouTube's.
Very good. Now, because I don't even know how to use this machine in front of me.
No, there's no way you could find this information.
Although I am
time.
Absolutely trying to find it.
What if it was just Martha? How do you know that name?
Martha L.
Yeah.
Lara.
It is Lara.
Yeah, Lara. Susanna York as Lara, Superman's biological mother on Krypton. She, after learning of Krypton's fate, has apprehensions about sending her infant son to a strange planet alone. Yeah, I would too!
Wait. So she's Lara, and Supergirl is Kara.
I don't know. I'm just looking at this.
Okay.
Was Supergirl created by this point?
Like, by this
in
point
the
where the movie... Oh, yeah.
I don't know when
sure.
Supergirl debuted.
I don't know. I could be wrong. There's really no way of knowing this. This is information that's lost to time.
Yep, that's a shame. You know what? Comment below. When did Supergirl debut?
Yeah.
We're just loading up on this engagement.
If you're Supergirl, email in.
Yeah, if you're Supergirl, why don't you fly into my window? Because you're older than I am, I think. And, she would destroy me. She'd immediately split into half with her laser eyes. She'd be like, look at this freak.
Brother, if that's your kink.
I'd be dead. And, that's my kink.
Yeah. Getting lasered in half.
Yeah. Ooh. Jor-El and wife send their son Kal-El down to Earth. He's choosing this primitive planet because he will be sustained by the atmosphere and he will need the advantages that he's going to have.
Yep.
Okay. They also send some crystals down so that he'll never be alone. We learn later that it's so he can, like, communicate with Jor-El, even though that's not really clear how that's working either later on.
Yeah, it's like like his consciousness in a crystal or whatever.
But he also answers when he says things to him.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a thing in the.
All right.
In the comique.
Oh, very fancy.
Yeah.
Jor-El monologues to the baby, and the mom just stands there, and it's like, listen, lady, you will speak when spoken to when we have Marlon Brando.
Yeah.
You are going to sit there and say, yes, my son. Oh.
Yeah.
But other than that, you will sit down and shut up.
Yeah. I did like how his baby garb or clothes, whatever it is, they're all the Superman colors.
Yes.
I like it.
I love, because all of their clothes on Krypton are very vibrant. Like, even this, like, baby cloth is, like, super shimmery and shiny.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
See, it doesn't seem like a comfortable place. Everything's, like, jagged.
That's advanced society. It's jagged.
Yeah. If you sit down, you might bleed.
Yeah. Even, their favorite album, Jagged Little Pill.
Wow.
Yeah. The national anthem on Krypton is You Learn by Alanis Morissette. Wow. Yeah.
Wow. Crazy.
Kal-El travels through space, and it's accompanied by a voiceover from Jor-El. And Kal-El ages on his journey, which makes sense because he's traveling through space. Jor-El explains all his powers to him and says it's forbidden for him to interfere in human history. But I have a question. What do Kryptonians eat? Because this child travels for years with no food.
Yep. That's a great question.
Later on, Lois Lane asks Superman, do you eat? He's like, yeah, I eat.
I eat puss. She's like, oh my god, my word.
Listen, she was going for that though, with her line of questioning.
Dude,
what color are my panties, Superman?
Yeah,
oh my!
We'll get to that scene. That is a Randy scene, brother.
Kal-El crash lands, and he gets found by the Kents, Martha and Jonathan.
Excellent.
This lady treats this child like a lost puppy. Can we keep him?
Yeah.
We'll just say he was my cousin's and he was newly orphaned. What?
I like how he's like, we can't keep him. And then she's like, well, we'll just do that. She's like, all right.
Well,
this isn't a massive decision.
Well, he agrees to keep him after the boy just lifts the car up.
That's right. He's like, well, we should, and then he explains later why he did it, which is great.
Oh,
I think Ma and Pa Kent are great.
Excellent. The boy is now in high school. Two things I love about this. We didn't waste a bunch of time with him as a little child.
Yep.
And when we get to Clark Kent in high school, they got some young, this guy in his 20s, maybe a teenager, to play a high schooler. They didn't ask Christopher Reeve, hey, 30-something-year-old man, can you act like a high schooler?
Yeah, and he, Christopher Reeve dubbed over the voice. So that is Christopher Reeve's.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. I honestly, fooled me. Couldn't tell.
Yeah, me neither.
You know, a lot of times you can tell and stuff like that, but no, he matched the voice, or he matched the mouth movements perfectly. It's really good. Yeah. Clark Kent is washing football equipment. He gets introduced to Lana Lang. She invites him to go and listen to records, and he's like, well, gee golly gosh, I think I will. Until some guy's like, nah, you gotta clean more stuff.
Yeah. And he's like, damn it.
And he kicks a football about 4 states over.
Yeah, it's in the stratosphere. That thing is in orbit.
So, does he actually clean this and then run, or does he just go, I'm just gonna beat them there? Like, because he seems to just take off immediately.
I don't know, but I love this scene.
Oh, yes, because he's faster than a locomotive.
Yeah.
And you see the kid, like, watching him running. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, I really like how they had, like, dust behind him, like, getting kicked up. That was really, just a really cool touch.
Yes. This doesn't look great, but this is how they had to do it in 1978. But I love that they're throwing in the stuff like this.
Yeah, I think it looks fine. You know, just considering the time, you know.
Yeah.
If somebody did this now, it'd be like, come on.
You gotta do better than that, boys.
Yeah.
Clark runs all the way to where the other kids are going, beating them there, and they are absolutely baffled. And instead of being amazed by how quickly this man moves, they just call him weird and leave.
Yeah.
Oh man, this guy's a super athlete. What a freak!
Yeah, I think that's just like showing Clark, you know, like, hey, maybe people tend to dislike things they don't understand.
Yeah.
You know?
But, like, when Clark and his dad are having this conversation, and Jonathan's like, you show off too much. He's like, Dad, I could score a touchdown every time. And he's like, yeah, but you're not here for that. It's like, yeah, but you can at least let him do it. Or do you think it's a matter of trying to teach him about
humility.
being yeah. It's about being humble and humility. But, like, that's me as a father. I'd be like, no, we can do both, though. You could dominate on the gridiron.
You just gotta act like you've been there before.
Yeah, and then just still be a good person.
Right, and
at least it would teach him to pull his punches. Because imagine getting tackled by Superman.
Right, I think that's why he wasn't playing football. He was cleaning it. He was cleaning the equipment rather than playing, because everybody would be dead. They'd just be red mists. This kid just running through them.
Oh my God! It's like, they'd be the bird. He'd be Randy Johnson's fastball.
Yeah.
You would just see uniform pieces just all over the place, just fabric and.
Yeah, and fragments of bone. But like, I like this scene a lot because he's like, well, like, it's not showing off if I could do it, right? Is a bird showing off when it flies? And he's like, it's not quite showing off. It's like the world. I don't know if they're ready for you just yet. You know, I think you got to figure yourself out before you. And I like how he's like, you were put here for a reason. And I don't think that reason is scoring touchdowns.
He's right.
I like how it's so vague, but meaningful at the same time. It's very good. I enjoy this a lot.
I would agree with that. I also think it's one of these things where, yes, you can score touchdowns, but you're not working for anything. You're not earning anything.
Right.
You know, and it reminds me of when I was in school, there was my neighbor. He had moved here and he spoke fluent Spanish. And when it was time for us to pick a language to take in middle school and high school, we all were like, dude, just take Spanish. You'll crush it. He goes, do you know how boring that would be?
Yeah.
He goes, to take a remedial version of a language I speak fluently. And I think it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, you could do that. You wouldn't get any fulfillment out of it.
Right.
You'd think it was great for the first few moments, you know, and everyone's adoring you, but then, yeah, everyone just keeps adoring you, and then it's like, all right,
yeah,
what is fulfilling you?
Well, I think it's the whole thing that Superman lands in middle America.
Yeah.
And is raised by God-fearing parents, like, and with traditional American values and stuff. And, like, have you ever read or watched Red Son?
I think I did watch it. This is where he lands in Russia.
Soviet Russia, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a great book, and I didn't see the movie, but the book is great. And it's good because it shows you, oh, thank God Superman landed in middle America with God-fearing parents with traditional American values, you know? Like, and these are traditional American values as in, like, you're actually a good person. Not traditional American values like, get off my, you know, my property.
This is in an America that is a legitimate utopia.
Yes. So, the point is Superman is a good person because of where he landed.
Right.
And Ma and Pa Kent are played very well here. And then, I mean, when Pa Kent, like, he's like, come on, Dad, let's race. And Pa Kent has the heart attack. And what is he? He says, oh no. Tragic.
It's tragic. I did laugh because his reaction to having a heart attack is the same reaction Joe Pesci has when he gets whacked in Goodfellas.
Yeah.
Oh no. And he just, like,
Yeah.
It's because early on, Martha says to him, you know, remember what the doctor said about your heart. And apparently he just ignored it.
Yeah, well, you're racing Superman.
This is a much better Jonathan Kent death than in Man of Steel with the tornado.
Oh, dude, there is no comparison here. Kevin Costner dying in a tornado when he could easily be saved is stupid.
Right. The point of this death is the line right after it, all those powers, and I couldn't even save him. Because there's nothing Superman can do about nature.
Right. Now remember that when we get to the end.
Yes, that's the whole purpose.
Yeah, I have feelings about the end. But yeah, you can't save everyone.
Right.
Great stuff.
Except in Man of Steel, he absolutely could have saved his dad. Clark finds a crystal.
Yes.
Clark finds a crystal. I honestly thought this was kryptonite at first.
Same.
Because it's
I was
just
like, oh shit, he's gonna die.
Yeah, credits. Because, like, it's just you can't put just a green crystal in a Superman thing if it's not kryptonite. Because then later on, the kryptonite is still green.
Yes, and it's glowing green, the same green.
Yeah.
They should have made it, like, glowing white or something. I don't know.
Yeah, they really should have. Clark leaves home and goes to the Fortress of Solitude, which he finds by throwing a crystal into the snow, and it melts down, and we see it, and we see this projection of Jor-El that speaks to Kal-El. And so, like you said before, it's like his consciousness in this crystal or whatever.
Yeah. And he gives him a big ass speech. Like you said, they're saying Brando, we got Brando, let's use Brando.
Yeah. We get Brando monologuing some more here. 12 years pass. Again, this is awesome because we don't need to watch him become Superman. We get the idea. He's learning from his dad. He's
go
talking
watch
to
Smallville.
Jor-El. Yeah, exactly.
Before he takes the crystal and goes, there's a scene where he says bye to Ma Kent.
Yeah.
And he's standing out in a field. And he literally just stands there while his old mother walks about 1.5 miles to him. Brother, meet her halfway at least or something, man.
Get her in less than half a second.
Yeah.
Dude.
Brother, she's like 70. What are you doing, man? And like she reaches him, he's like, I gotta go. And she's like, okay, well, I'm out of breath.
You told me to meet you out here.
Yeah, you fucking jerk.
12 years pass. We see Superman fly off, and we're now at the Daily Planet. We meet Jimmy Olsen, Lois Lane, and Perry White. Lois Lane is a terrible speller in this movie. Is that something from the comics, or is that just a little gag?
I don't know.
She spells massacre wrong. She spells rapist wrong. Like, there's like multiple words. It's like, man, you're a reporter. You really should be spelling these words right.
What are you reading at a presidential level? I'll say anything, Robbie.
You're wild, man.
Yeah. I also have in my notes, evidently Jor-El spoke to Kal-El for several years.
12 years.
You just kept talking for 12 years.
I think that's what it was.
Kal-El's just sitting there like...
Because I think they sent him with all those crystals. And that's all the knowledge of Jor-El. Like, that's why they say, like, 12 years will pass and you will emerge a man. So he's coming out now as a 30-year-old. Because he says when he goes in, he goes, you are an Earth years 18 years old. Here's a pack of smokes.
Yeah. It'll put hair on your chest.
But, yeah, so then he says 12 years will pass. So now he's coming out as a 30-year-old man. So he's just been in this Fortress of Solitude, which it's called that too, which I love that Jor-El straight up calls it a Fortress of Solitude.
Yeah.
Again, we're leaning into the fact this is a comic book movie.
Heck yeah, brother.
Yeah, so he's coming out, he's 30. So yeah, no, he just stayed there for 12 years talking to crystals.
Okay.
It's Clark's first day at the Daily Planet. This is awesome. I love Christopher Reeve as Clark Kent, Superman. Because, golly gosh. I'm sorry, Miss Lane.
He is so good at this.
He's incredible.
Yeah.
The way he, like, hunches over as Clark Kent and then stands up straight as Superman, incredible. What we needed to see were the acting classes he took. This dude is crushing it.
Yeah.
Lois and Clark go on a walk. They get mugged. Lois kicks the guy. That's a bad move because he shoots immediately. And then Clark catches the bullet. The guy runs away. Clark's, I guess I fainted.
Yeah. And she's like, you fainted? Like, it's so great because then he gives her a little talking to about, like, hey, he's like, hey, you almost died for, like, nothing.
Yeah.
Maybe don't do that. But then she's like caught up like, how'd you know exactly what was in my purse? And he's like, but like,
lucky guess.
Hey Lois, you're missing the point. Don't be an idiot. Just give him the purse.
I understand, but if a guy just said, hey, is it really worth losing your life over a chapstick, a pack of gum, whatever he says, like literally listing the exact contents of her bag, no, that conversation stops and you go, how the fuck did you know exactly what was in there?
What if Clark, for some reason nobody ever told him, nobody else has X-ray vision? He was like, X-ray vision, we all have it. You don't have that? Shit.
But like, I guess he needed to know what was so risky, because I'd imagine he doesn't just walk around looking inside women's purses. So like, I guess after she kicked it, he needed to know what was so important for her to risk it.
Yeah, I guess.
Because if not, he's just a creep.
Yeah.
We meet Otis. He's played by Ned Beatty. The dog catches him stealing something from the blind guy. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's good stuff. When he gets to the train station, and the train station, they're calling all New York cities. Poughkeepsie.
Yep, Syracuse.
Is Metropolis just Manhattan?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a weak thing. We could have thrown in Gotham Central, you know what I mean? Throw in some of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a little weird. But then again, this is 1978. I think they didn't want to confuse everybody.
Yeah.
These two guys follow Otis, hoping he leads them to Lex Luthor. As the train goes by, Otis uses the secret passage, and then Luthor catches the guy following Otis and uses machinery to just push him in front of the train.
Pretty dark. Pretty cool.
That's awesome. And here we get the best part of this movie, in my opinion. Gene Hackman. This dude is just crushing it. Lex is talking to Miss Tessmacher here, and he's wondering why the greatest diabolical leader of all time is surrounded by nincompoops or something like that.
Yeah.
And then Otis walks in and goes, oh, we were just talking about you.
Yeah.
I was losing it. This movie is funnier than every single Marvel movie. This movie is funnier, let me say this, than almost every single movie in the MCU.
Okay. It's a very different kind of comedy.
But it's better. It's well written. The comedy in this movie is so much better written than the comedy in everything in the MCU.
Yeah.
Because it never takes me out of the movie. We're not sitting there in a fight with him making jokes.
Yeah. I like the comedy. I do. I enjoy it. But it does bring down the intimidation factor, like, a lot.
See, I don't think so, because he's only funny when he's putting Otis down.
Yeah.
Like, you never see... there's one scene where he's funny with Superman. But, like, I think a part of it is with Lex Luthor. He's always supposed to be cool, calm, and collected.
Yeah.
So, like, it's all one-liners, and it's always... all these liners are in service to what's going on. Nothing is like, well, that just happened.
Right. Well,
and we're not... and he's not holding a gun to somebody cracking jokes.
Right. Yeah,
You know, like-
it's... I mean, I love it. Don't get me wrong, I love it. It like, later on when he does the thing that only Superman can hear, I was like, oh shit, that's a spooky villain thing. But then, like, the next scene, he's like... it's like Mo, Larry, and Curly, you know? It's like, okay.
I loved that fucking Wile E. Coyote shit they started getting into.
Yeah, that's just hilarious. But at the same time, it's like...
but that's the thing, it's a comic book movie. This is shit, like, in the early days, you'd see Lex Luthor doing in the comic books.
Sure. It's just, you know, kind of like... I'm looking for an intimidating villain, and I got... you know, the Three Stooges here, and it's good. Again, it's good.
I've seen 2 Lex Luthors in live action, and he is better than Jesse Eisenberg.
That's not saying much, but I mean, I thoroughly agree with you.
Yeah.
But also the juxtaposition of Clark's parents telling him to be good to people and to help people, and then Lex Luthor, he tells a very brief story about how his father said that people suck and you're better than everybody.
Do you know what my father said to me at 6 years old? Get out.
Yeah, and he's like, before that.
That was so funny. It was so good.
Yeah. But, like, the juxtaposition of these two people, they're polar opposites, right?
Yeah.
And, like, is Lex Luthor a Superman? Yes. But is he a good man? No. And it's great. It's great stuff. They still got that, and I like that a lot.
Luthor explains to Miss Tessmacher that land is a valuable commodity, and it always will be, and he's absolutely right.
Yeah.
And this is where he starts dropping the hints of what his plan actually is. His plan is a brilliant supervillain plan.
Yeah, very, very Goldfinger.
Well, it's also like, this isn't just a guy who's like, and I'm gonna take over the world!
Yeah.
This isn't the guy who's like, I'm gonna kill everybody! No, this guy has a plan, and there's a reason for the plan, and it's to make him rich, and it's very clear how this plan will make him rich. There is no questioning that if he accomplishes what he wants to accomplish, he will make a lot of money.
Yes, and it's very comic book, because he's like, I'm the greatest criminal mastermind of all time.
Yes!
Like, okay, nobody's ever uttered those words in real life.
There's a lot of, like, Batman 66 at times in this.
Yeah.
With, like, the straight up being like, I am a criminal mastermind!
Yeah, I am evil. Yeah.
But they're even doing this shit in Goldfinger when they're going, come on, let's go partake in our criminal activity.
Yeah.
The scene in Goldfinger when they're going around the table going, yes, but I lost this much money on my criminal enterprise this week. It's like, okay, guys.
Yeah.
Like,
are you guys evil?
Yeah, we get that.
Yeah. Previous episode, check it out.
At the Daily Planet, Clark asks Lois to dinner, but she's busy. And then he follows her into the ladies' restroom, and she's like, hey, weirdo.
Yeah. But he's so good at just playing a bumbling, unassuming clown.
Well, because his jacket gets caught in the door, and instead of opening the door, he goes, Lois?
Lois. And then she's like, hey, mail this. Get the
Would
fuck
you
out of
be
here,
a
mail
pet
it.
and mail this for me?
He's like, okay.
Margot Kidder is also they have great chemistry, Reeve and Kidder here.
I think it's chemistry, Rami.
So stupid.
I agree. I'm rude.
That night, Lois Lane gets into a helicopter for a story.
Yeah.
The pilot calls what happens a malfunction, but this isn't really a malfunction. Someone just fucked up real bad because somehow, like, the cables are still caught on the helicopter. That's not a helicopter malfunction. That's human error.
Yeah.
Someone is getting fired and probably arrested.
Yeah. But this scene, ooh, girl, this is peak Superman stuff. And this is what Man of Steel was missing.
Yes, absolutely. I love this homage as Superman's about to get ready and he looks at the payphone at first and he's like, that's not a phone booth.
Yeah, great stuff. Loved it.
And so he just goes into the spinning doors.
Is that a turnstile?
Yeah, and he comes out as Superman, saves Lois, falling from the chopper.
Not before a black guy says he's like Superfly or whatever, and that's the only black guy in the whole movie.
I love this line from Lois Lane here when she's like, "You've got me, who's got you?"
Yeah.
That's a lot of fun.
But just the simple line of, "Don't worry, ma'am, I've got you." It's like, yeah, that's fucking great.
That's
Superman.
Superman.
And he catches the helicopter with one hand.
Yeah.
Incredible stuff. And it looks great.
It does.
Why does this look so good?
The flying looks incredible in this movie.
Yeah, but him catching the helicopter too and then also going up, it's incredible. All this, incredible.
This, like, holds up, and, like, this looks better than certain movies that are made now when you have people flying.
Yeah, you see The Flash?
I did.
Hey, that movie looks bad.
That's horrendous.
Yeah. Remember when he puts a baby in a microwave?
Oh, God, yeah, I do.
Hey, that looks bad.
I also like this little detail that Superman takes the time to tell Lois, don't be afraid of flying. Statistically, it's very safe.
Yeah. And then he's like, bye. She's like, what? But then he starts just doing Superman stuff.
Yeah, which
we get like a
love.
montage of it. It's excellent. Now, I will say this. About time, because we're about an hour and 12 minutes in.
I don't mind that because I think they did a really good job at the origin story.
I agree. But also, when it happened, I was like, there it is.
Yeah. There's a feeling of satisfaction because it's like, all right, if it went on a little too long before we got Superman, a little longer, I would have been like, let's go, guys. I think they really introduced it at the right time.
Yes, and this is a long movie. This is like 2.5 hours.
Yes.
That's a long movie. But
I like Superman.
It is paced well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Superman catches this guy climbing the outside of a building trying to break in, and he flies him to the jail and he goes, they say confession's good for the soul, so this man should have a lot to say, or whatever. Loved it.
I like how the cop is like, what? This guy just flew, and even the criminal is like speechless. Like everybody's just like,
well, Superman, it's great that you brought him here, but that's not how the law works.
Yeah. You instead of spending 12 years in a cave, you should have went to college.
You should have gone to law school.
Truly, if you're going to be apprehending criminals, you should probably know something about the law system.
Because then Superman leaves a bunch of criminals, including a full boat.
Yes, he just puts the boat in the street.
Yeah, no one can get through. That's a crime, Superman.
How are they going to move this boat? It's just there forever now.
He's done so much damage to that street by just dropping that boat. Because there's no way he put it down gently.
Hey, you never know. You know, I saw something that, like, because if you see him, like when he catches the helicopter, if he just grabs like the rung, and realistically all the weight of that helicopter and that rung, it would just bend. But apparently Superman has some sort of like magic ability that everything gets like stabilized.
Yes, that's
the weight gets distributed.
I have a big question about that later on.
Okay.
And what I thought was the worst part of this movie.
Okay.
Superman saves a cat from a tree. Love that.
Oh, it's excellent. Excellent.
A plane gets struck by lightning, and it's apparently Air Force One.
Yeah, the president's there, or
right.
is he not there? Like, what's going on?
Who cares? The pilot going, fly, just fly.
Yeah, that stuff's great. Like, everybody looking in amazement as this man is just holding the plane, and I like how he just gives like a real quick, "How you doing?"
And he just like turns his head. He's like, just go.
Fly. Yeah,
Don't
just
worry
fly.
about it.
Don't even, because if you look out there, you might lose your mind.
Everyone watches the news about Superman's heroics. Luthor is furious. He wants to challenge Superman. This is a great bit when he goes, Otis, bring me my robe. And he brings his robe into the pool, and they talk, and he goes, and Otis, next time, wait till I'm out of the pool. Ned Beatty delivers this gasp here, which had me rolling. I had to pause the movie because I was laughing so hard at Ned Beatty's.
Yeah.
I was rolling. Ned Beatty is so funny in this movie. Sure thing, Mr. Luthor. He had me rolling this entire movie. Gene Hackman and Ned Beatty were so good together.
Yeah.
Incredible. Perry White wants answers about the now unnamed Superman, and Lois Lane gets a note that says a friend is gonna meet at her place at 8. That night, Lois Lane gets Lois Lane gets all dolled up, and she's waiting for Superman. As she lights up a cigarette, Superman inspects her lungs.
Yeah, he's like, hey, smoking's not good for you. She's like, lung cancer. And he like examines her lungs. He's like, not yet, thank God.
That's incredible.
Yeah. All of this, it's like really wholesome. It's cute.
Yeah.
And it's a little randy.
It's very flirty. It's very horny.
Yeah.
I got a big pop when Lois goes, let's start with your vital statistics. Are you married?
Yeah. He says, what is it? Oh, do you have a girlfriend? If I did, you'd be the first to know about it.
Yeah. And then
smooth, dude.
And then the line that I was stunned was in this movie. How big are you? How tall are you?
How tall are you? Yeah,
I was like, holy. I was like, oh my God.
Loved it.
Superman reveals that he can't see through lead because she goes, what color panties am I wearing?
Yeah. What color are my undies?
I love that she's like, oh, I'm sorry if I made you feel uncomfortable. He's like, no, it's just that I can't see through lead. And then she moves and she goes, pink. I'm sorry if I made you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what?
But then she's like, do you like pink?
Very much so.
Yeah. Like, all right, guys. This movie's PG. Just a reminder.
I don't care. I was loving this.
It was hilarious. It was hilarious. Also, hey, maybe don't print his weakness.
I know.
What are you doing?
And it turns out he will die from something called kryptonite. It's like, what are you doing?
Huh. Can't see through lead, huh?
The man you apparently love, and you're telling the world how to kill him.
Yeah.
Superman takes Lois for a flight. Superman is totally wrong on this one, because she would be freezing. She's like, let me get a jacket. He's like, you won't need one. It's like, what?
Because your heart's going to be pumping, lady.
I mean, at one point, they're like flying through the fucking, like, through space. Like, no, she'd be frozen.
Yeah. And also, lack of oxygen.
Yeah. But here's my question. When they are flying, why are her feet not, like, dangling? How is she just flying next to him?
She's got core strength.
Good point. My bad.
Lois doing crunches from 11 a.m. to 12:30, dude. Hour and a half of crunches.
Jesus. And then as they're flying, he drops her.
Yeah, well, they're trying to, like she's balancing. She's trying to do her own thing.
Yeah.
And then he's like, whoops.
Well, like, dude, why wouldn't you be carrying her, like, cradling her like this the whole time?
I don't know. I did find that this flying scene went on a bit too long.
This is the worst part of the movie, when she starts reciting this poem.
I don't remember.
She just starts reciting some poem while they're flying, and I'm like, okay, Oh, what, did we feel like Margot Kidder didn't have enough lines or something? This sucks. Let's move it.
Yeah, just this whole thing. I think it should have been a quick, like, hey, let's go for a fly. You know, they see the Statue of Liberty, which is evidently...
Yeah, Metropolis is New York.
Just there. And, you know, maybe fly around the world. You know, like, oh, we see the pyramids. Wow, cool. You know, they go all over.
I can show you the world. Right?
Don't you dare close your eyes. Hold
And
your
be a
breath.
super kind of man.
Yeah.
From a Krypton who no one understands. Right?
Yeah.
That's what she
good.
starts singing. That's how he got his name.
Yeah. They're flying. And he's like, you like Skinner?
He's got like fucking wraparound sunglasses on now. Got a fucking mullet.
Yeah. She's like, oh no.
It's real American music.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, it goes on a bit long, and I was like, all right, I got it.
Right after it. Yeah.
Real quick though. When he drops her off, right, and he goes to fly away, and then he knocks on the door, and he's Clark again.
Mm-hmm.
They did not cut the camera. It is seamless. And I was like, how did they do that? And I found out that they played like a projection of him flying away as Superman, and the real Christopher Reeve was at the door, and he knocked.
Well, that's awesome.
That's really cool movie making.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Movie magic.
Movie magic.
Very good.
Yeah. It's a soft G.
Soft G would be
Hard
how
G?
I said it.
Or a
You
hard
said it as
G.
a hard
Yeah.
G. Yeah, I'll give you
I
a
teach
hard
this.
G.
I should know this.
Yeah. Lois, this is where Lois calls him a Superman, and that's when she realizes that'll be his name. And when Clark shows up and Lois is distracted, Clark asks if she's been smoking weed.
Does he?
Yeah, he goes, Lois, you haven't been, have you? I was losing it. I was like, this is the greatest movie. This is one of this. All right, full honesty. First time I saw this movie was this week. I watched it twice this week, like I usually do. This became one of my top 5 superhero movies of all time.
Wow.
I loved this. I loved every second of this movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what? I remember liking the second one better, so you might like the second one even better.
Well, I'm excited.
Yeah. He almost tells her, but he chickens out. He's like, Lois, yeah. I'm, and he does, like, he stands up straight, and then he's like, I'm scared. And I like that.
I don't know how she doesn't see it, because she walks out of the door with him standing up with his glasses off.
Yeah.
She has bad eyesight, I guess.
Yeah, I think she's also just like,
oh, yeah.
Ooh, my God. I do have the vapors. Yeah. But you can also see, you know, like, it's been a while since I've seen this, but you can really see Sam Raimi took a lot from this for Spider-Man. And
Oh,
Spider-Man
yeah.
2.
Oh, yeah.
Like, in the best way.
I mean, listen.
Those are also great.
Spider-Man in general, there's a lot of, like, you took that from Superman.
Yeah.
The newspaper aspect of it. Like, Perry White is very similar to J. Jonah Jameson at times.
Yep.
Like, and I'm a big Spider-Man guy, but you can absolutely see they took a lot because he's your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Yes, I mean, it's Stan Lee.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying.
Like, hey, we've said it before. Stan Lee is the Jimmy Page of comic books.
Yeah. Great, but derivative.
Yep. Lex Luthor reads the papers and knows that meteorites from Krypton will hurt Superman. Lex fakes a car accident and the military police find the woman. This is so funny. When, like, all right, we need a deep chest massage and mouth to mouth. And he goes, I'll do it. And the chief, he goes, I would never ask one of my men to do something I'm not willing to do myself.
But then he does it and they all form a very tight circle around it. Very strange. What are you guys doing? Come on, guys.
This is, again, it's so silly. And then Otis.
It doesn't even work. Yeah, they have to do it again. Well,
because she's Miss Tessmacher. Yeah, exactly, because Otis screwed up the plan.
Yeah.
Because Otis, he goes, yep, I planted the bombs. 38, 67, 117. And he goes, what about the fourth one? He goes, what? What fourth one? He goes, 38, 67, 11, 7. And Otis has them written on his arm, and he goes, I guess my arm wasn't long enough.
And then they have to do it again, but in a different way. It's very funny. Very, very funny.
And then when they're fighting, he just goes, I'll show you you want to see a long arm? And he starts reaching back to fight. And yeah, because then we continue our Looney Tunes stuff as Luthor and Otis hatch another plan as truckers and Miss Tessmacher climbs up the bridge in the dress with just a tool belt on over the dress.
Yep. I love they block the road with a truck, and the army guys are like, hey, you gotta get out of the way. They're like, beautiful day, isn't it? They're just wasting everybody's time. It's great. I loved it.
It's just funny that they sent her to do all the dirty work.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Lois Lane questions someone why they're selling Luthor all the land, and the guy's like, because he's paying an outrageous price. Why would I not?
No.
We then get Perry White encouraging Clark Kent to be a little more aggressive, and we also learn that a meteorite was stolen from the museum. That's just a little thing they just throw in there. That's how they explain that Lex Luthor got the kryptonite.
Yeah.
And I like that they just kind of throw it in there. We don't actually see them robbing the museum, but they tell you.
Yeah.
Because we do see early on, or a little earlier, that the meteorite or the kryptonite was found in Ethiopia. And wouldn't you know it, it was stolen and brought to a museum. Whoa!
Hey!
Luthor communicates to Superman through a frequency that only him and dogs can hear. And during this, Perry White is just rambling and Clark just leaves.
Yeah, and he jumps out the fucking window. It's great.
Yeah. Superman then spins so fast, he drills a hole through the ground, making his way all the way to Lex Luthor's hideout. He kicks the door in, and Luthor goes, it's open, come on in.
Yeah. It's good. I like their first meeting is really good.
I think Gene Hackman was so funny in this. Just so unbelievably funny in this.
Yeah.
Luthor explains his plan to Superman. His plan is to blow LA, San Francisco, and San Diego off the map, doing America all a favor, because he owns all the desert land. He'll then own the entire West Coast, and this is where we get the great Otisburg.
He's like, yeah.
Well, Miss Tessmacher has a place. It's just a little piece of land, Mr. Luthor. Because you see, she has Tessmacher Peaks.
Yeah.
And of course, we have a boob joke, because it's Tessmacher Peaks and there's mountains.
Oh.
That's how I took it, as a little boob joke.
Yeah.
But yeah, he tried to just write in Otisburg in one of the areas. Otisburg.
That's great.
Then we see what makes Lex Luthor so good is that he's able to outsmart Superman.
Yeah, he pulls an Ozymandias from Watchmen. Because he's telling Superman the plan, and Superman's like, I'll never let you get away with it. He's like, well, I already did it.
Yeah.
He's like, what?
Yeah, there's one missile going out west and one going out east, and I know you can't stop both of them, so...
Yeah, he already launched the missiles, and Superman's like, shit. And then that's where he hits him with that kryptonite.
Yeah, because he tricks him. He's holding, he goes, where's the detonator or whatever, and he looks at the wrong thing, and then Superman's looking around, and he opens it up, and it's just kryptonite, and it's this, kryptonite chain and necklace that they just put on Superman and throw him into the water.
Yeah. Honestly, though, that's real James Bond of him. You should have a gun and, put the kryptonite on him and then shoot him in the face.
Yeah, probably.
But they just James Bond it, and they're just like, he'll drown, probably. Who knows?
What do you think Lex Luthor would have done in the comic books at this time? Do you think he would have put a kryptonite necklace on him and shot him in the face? Or
he would have done exactly what he did.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Miss Tessmacher tells Lex that her mother lives in Hackensack, and he does this great thing where he just looks at his watch and goes,
he's like, ooh. Not gonna happen. Your mom's dead.
Tessmacher agrees to help Superman only if he saves her mother first, And then before she takes the necklace off of him, she kisses him, and he's like, what the fuck?
I like that's the first thing, like, when he comes to, the first thing he says is like, why'd you kiss me?
Because I didn't think I'd get the chance to after you. You wouldn't have.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
Superman catches the missile heading for Hackensack. One thing I really enjoyed, another thing that really kept popping me in this movie was when Lex Luthor would go, Tessmacher!
Yeah, yeah.
He just hates his two underlings, and that makes it so much better.
Yeah, yeah. He's the Mo.
Yeah. The missile hits the San Andreas fault line. Oh shit, here we go again.
Nice. I like how
just have to follow the train, Superman.
Lois Lane is driving on the fault line. Like, what are the odds?
That's great. And also, what is Jimmy Olsen doing? He's just taking random photographs
of a dam.
Yeah, like they're not near each other. They went out there together.
Yeah, yeah.
And then she's like, I'm gonna drive around. You do whatever you do.
Yeah. And he's like, he said, damn.
Everything's falling into the ground. Superman pushes the ground back up at one point.
Yeah, he like fixes the fault itself. It's crazy.
Yeah. He then saves a school bus. He axes train tracks. I love that.
Yeah, the school bus is great. The train tracks are great. All this stuff is great.
Yeah. The dam breaks. Jimmy falls. Superman saves him just in time. But then he's like, you'll be safe here. No, he won't. Why would you think that? Take him with you.
Yeah.
Lois Lane runs out of gas. But for some reason, she keeps trying to start the car. Like, once you see why your car didn't stall, it ran out of gas.
Yeah.
Once it's on empty, you can't sit there trying to start the car.
Yeah, and she sees the ground is like breaking. Like, why don't you just get out of the car?
I don't know if it's safer to be in the car or out of the car at that point.
Well, she dies in the car.
She does die in the car. She does die in the car. This is a legitimately horrifying way to go.
Yeah.
This is terrifying.
Getting crushed by the earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Superman creates a dam of rocks. We get some good miniature work and some bad miniature work here. Like, some of this miniature work with the houses looks really good. Some of the rocks, it just looks like little rocks.
Yeah, like little pebbles somebody poured out of a cup. Yeah.
Yeah. Superman is all proud of himself, and then he remembers Lois. He's like, oh, God, oh, shit.
Yeah.
And
so, this is kind of where it loses me. Is at the very, very end.
Now, I think I know where you're going with what you're going to say about how he, like, reverses time.
Yeah.
From what I read, that was supposed to be the end of the second movie.
Him reversing time to save Lois.
Yes.
Okay.
But I'm also wondering, again, I haven't seen the second movie, but part of the whole thing with Jor-El is Jor-El constantly saying, you can't go back, you can't change human history.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if him doing this is what leads to those banished into the Phantom Zone to come back.
You could be right. Now, if that is true, it's not that bad. I don't remember. But he kind of spits in the face of both his dads.
Yes.
One dad's like, hey, you can't save everyone, especially, sometimes people you love are the ones to go, as you found out, and you can't do anything about it. And then, Jor-El saying, like, hey, you can't mess with time and history.
Yeah.
He does both. He's like, I will not accept her dying, and I'm going to mess with time. And he does so now. There's no narrative consequence. He just does it, and everything's good. And it's like, that's not That's not it. The lesson is like, oh, I'm a god and nothing matters.
That's why I think they filmed these two movies together, because I think this was supposed to lead into the consequences that lead to the second movie.
Okay, now, if you are true, it's great. If you are untrue, it is ungreat.
It's not a matter of true, it's right, or if I'm correct or incorrect.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
But, like, Superman, yeah, you reverse time, but as far as I can tell, all those people still died because we didn't see you go back and create that dam.
Yeah, this doesn't really make any sense.
It seems like Superman sacrificed multiple people just to save Lois here. That's what I took from the ending.
That's what it looks like. Also, I was like, oh, he reversed time before any of this happened. But then Jimmy Olsen runs out. He's like, hey, you left me in the middle of the road. And it's like, oh, so this is mere seconds before, but the crack in the earth is gone? Like, I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense.
He did it right to the point where, remember he stood there for a second all proud of himself? What he did was he reversed it right before he wasted too much time patting himself on the back.
Right, but Lois...
No, it doesn't make sense.
Didn't even fall into a crater. Like, it doesn't make any sense at all.
No.
And I have a question. This question is for you and the audience. Do you think he's actually reversing the rotation of the Earth, or is that just to symbolize that time is going back?
I think he's actually rotating the Earth the other way.
Oh, well, then the Earth has a whole new set of problems.
Yes, yeah.
Everyone's dead.
Again, this is a very comic book thing to do, though.
Yeah. It's just...
I didn't hate it. I know some people don't like it. I don't hate this. But that's also because I'm assuming what happens. And if I'm wrong, then I can go, oh, that's bad.
Yeah,
yeah. Because I looked it up and it said they filmed the first two together, I go, that has to be a reason. Because they did warn him throughout the whole movie, don't do this.
Yeah, and then he does it and there's zero consequence. Unless you're correct about the second one. Yeah. We'll find out next week, won't we, Robbie?
I think we will. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
But it's also like, I know they had some production issues in between these movies, so who knows?
Marlon Brando was apparently a handful.
What?
Yeah.
Superman flies off. Jimmy Olsen and Lois Lane start to kind of speculate, is Clark Kent Superman?
Yeah, and then she's like, nah. I will say this final shot makes up for a lot of the dog shit at the very end. Because I was like, oh, that's so good. Like him flying like into orbit, and then he looks at the camera and he smiles.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is fucking great, man.
That's my Superman.
Yeah, that's him.
Superman, he flies Otis and Lex Luthor to a prison. Luthor removes his wig and just declares something. I'm not quite sure, but again, you don't just take them to prison. There's processes that have to go through for this.
He even says that. He's like, they'll stay here until their trial's complete or whatever. It's like, all right, man.
Superman flies off, and we go to the credits.
Yeah.
I really liked this, Andy.
Me too.
I had a really good time with this movie. I think it's a great Superman movie. I think even though it's a pretty long movie, we don't waste time in this.
I think this is the best Superman movie so far. And that being said, I don't really remember the second one. The second one might be the best one. But we'll find out next week, won't we, Robbie?
We will find out next week.
Miles ahead of Man of Steel.
Yes.
Man of Steel is just like a brooding, sad boy Superman who doesn't save a single human being. Just punches real hard. Wow. Also, email in and comment, fight me about that. I don't care.
Good.
Yeah. Batman v Superman, we know that's a big old pile of dog shit.
It is.
And I'm really looking forward to the James Gunn one. Because James Gunn, he makes good stuff.
Yes, me too.
He understands characters. I think it's going to be at least very good.
My hopes are high.
Same.
Should we go to Letterboxd?
Oh, for sure.
You can follow us on Letterboxd at TheRoydsBand. Andy, I really liked this. I liked the humor. I liked the story. I liked the wholesomeness. I liked that they lean into the fact that this is a comic book movie. This does get dragged down by that little poetry section in the middle. And again, I am hoping I'm correct with my thinking on the end of the movie leading into the second one. I think this is a 4-star movie.
I agree with 4-star. Yeah.
That was easier than me after a couple of tequilas.
Wow.
A couple of shots of tequila. And I'm going cray-cray. All right.
I will say this, Robbie.
Yeah.
Tequila, I barely know her.
Very good. Andy, I have 4 trivia.
Cool. I have 3. That's 7 altogether. Do you see how fast I am?
Dude, that's really good. That's
They
good
call me
math.
the human calculator, Robbie.
Do they really?
No.
Oh. I'll go first. How many known galaxies does Jor-El say there are? 27, 28, 29, 30.
27.
It is not 27.
28.
It is 28, yes.
That's what I said.
Very good. You nailed it.
Yeah. How much did Marlon Brando get paid for this and the sequel, although they were shot at the same time? Altogether, 10 minutes of screen time. Did he get paid $10 million, $14 million, $17 million, or $1 billion?
It's not the last one. 14 mil?
That is correct.
Look at me.
$14 million. And he sued them for more.
I know. I know. What song are the kids listening to when they pull up after Clark beats them by foot? The Yellow Rose of Texas, The Ballad of Davy Crockett, Moments to Remember, Rock Around the Clock.
No, with the Ballad of Davy Crockett.
It is not The Ballad of Davy Crockett.
It's not Rock Around the Clock, I don't think.
Is it The Yellow Rose of Texas? Is it Moments to Remember? Or is it Rock Around the Clock?
With Moments to Remember.
It is not Moments to Remember.
Hey, is it the first one?
It is not The Yellow Rose of Texas.
It is Rock Around the Clock.
It is Rock Around the Clock.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh. Yeah.
How many pounds did Christopher Reeve gain to play Superman? 26, 34, 42, or 1 billion?
34.
No.
26.
No.
42.
42.
Nailed it.
Your boy was yoked. He started at 170 and he ended at 212.
Dang.
GDG. Goddamn, girl.
How much money does Jimmy Olsen get paid per week? $30, $35, $40, $50.
What was the first one?
$30.
I think it's $30.
It is not $30.
Is it $35?
It is not $35.
Is it $40?
It is $40 a week.
Wow. Was that a lot in the 70s?
I have no idea.
Also, does this take place in the 70s or takes place in the 30s?
No, based on my next question, it definitely takes place in the 70s.
Oh, okay. So that stroke I just had, though?
Yeah, I saw that. That was pretty crazy.
It's concerning. What director was offered this movie? Was it Richard Donner and him only? Or was it Ridley Scott, Francis Ford Coppola, or Stevie Spiels?
Was it just Richard Donner?
It was not. I tricked you. I'm a
Was it
bastard.
Francis Ford Coppola?
It was not.
Was it Stevie Spiels?
It was. And you know what they offered? They offered it to him, and apparently his asking price was outrageous according to them. Even though he did Jaws, which was a massive hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What song is playing when Lois Lane honks her horn at the gas station? She's listening to it on the radio. Give a Little Bit, Rich Girl, Fly Like an Eagle, Go Your Own Way.
I think it's Give a Little Bit.
It is Give a Little Bit by Supertramp, yeah.
It's a little breakfast in America, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are all songs from 1977.
The year of our Megazord.
Yeah. Just like the other one were all songs from 1955.
Wow. It's the year my mother was born.
Very good. Oh, it's the year my dad was born.
Wow.
Because I think when he's 18, it's 1955, and then 12 years later, it's 1977.
Wow.
That's what I kind of assumed from the movie.
You know what they say when you assume?
You're right.
Yep, you've made an assumption.
Look at us.
Yeah, I wrote a song, Robbie.
I wrote a song also, Andy. I also have a pick to flip.
I'll kindly ask you to flip that shit. Heads.
It's Tails, Brother Bear.
Please stop rigging this game.
No.
Okay.
That's what I do. I'll go first.
Okay.
My song is called What a Man. What a mighty, mighty good man. No, my song is called What a Man, and I'm gonna be honest, I did something different this week. I just kind of focused on making a beat. I really sat down with the 808 setting on the keyboard and the MIDI and focused on making a beat first, and then just kind of built it from there. The vocals and the lyrics were a total afterthought. You know, all done after all the music was recorded, just to see what I could fit in here. So, there are lyrics, obviously, but again, the beat was really what I focused on. And I'm actually just kind of rambling now, which is kind of silly, I guess. But anyway, here's my song. It's called What a Man, and it is about Superman, the movie.
He's 6'4", chiseled jaw. In just one look, he'll know the hue of your drawers. He's taken flight in his red tights. His only weakness is kryptonite. He can't see through lead. He does what his mama says. He don't want no one dead. He keeps a clear head. He sees no point in violence, and you can't keep him silent. No matter how hard you're trying, he'll keep those people from dying. He can't save everyone under our red sun. Some things are forbidden, and Lex has a bedridden. Her home explodes. Where will you go? Sent down to earth, where you'll never be alone. Planet explodes. Where will you go? Sent down to earth, where you'll never be alone. 6'4", chiseled jaw. In just one look, he'll know the hue of your drawers.
That was my song called What a Man.
Wow. What a man.
What a man.
What a
What a mighty,
man.
mighty good man.
What a mighty, mighty good man.
But yeah, focus mostly on the beat there.
Okay. I liked it. It was cool. Weird.
Yeah, it was a little weird.
I like it. I like weird stuff.
Yeah, I know. I know you do, baby. But yeah.
Cool. Cool. Speaking of weird, I bought a weird guitar recently for super cheap. Looks like
I like
this for the YouTubers. Right, it's like a telly, but it's like not. And I used it on my song.
Very cool.
Yeah, my song is called Crystal Clear. And a little pun because of all the crystals.
I like it.
You know? But yeah, it's about Superman and how his daddies are like, hey, don't do that stuff. And then he does it, and there's no consequence for it. But I took some inspiration from Robbie's song from Jurassic Park, which was our first episode. Check that out. But where he takes the score, another John Williams score, and uses it in his song. And I said, I'm gonna do something like that. So I did something like that. It's called Crystal Clear, and it goes like this. So that's my song, Crystal Clear.
I liked it a lot.
Thank you.
I like that. The guitar sounds great.
Thank you. I used the neck pickup, the P90. Sounds nice. I don't love the bridge pickup on this, so I'm gonna replace that with like a proper telly bridge pickup to get that nice, telly bridge pickup sound.
Yeah. No, it sounded really good. I think the guitar sounds great.
Thank you. Thank you. I also used my acoustic.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Sounds cool. I liked it. I liked that a lot.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I took inspiration from your song, Robbie.
Thank you.
Now I owe you money.
You don't. We owe John Williams money.
Ah, shit.
That's unfortunate, man. We just keep racking up our bill to John Williams.
Yeah, that sucks. Yeah.
Oopsies.
We'll push him to the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still alive.
Yeah. He's just like a billion. Like 90 something.
He's 93.
Yeah.
Oh, Wikipedia doesn't say just is an American composer. He is a celebrated American composer.
He is celebrated.
No, yeah, he's a GOAT. Like a legitimate, like greatest of all time.
Yeah. And a legitimate mountain goat as well.
He is. I noticed that.
Not a lot of
That's
people
crazy.
know.
Yeah, and he
Which
just
in a way
stands
makes him
on the
better.
edge.
Yeah. Makes him better because it's like, is this human? It's like, no, a fucking goat did this. It's incredible.
Yeah. And he eats hair.
Yeah, he's eating the sheet music as he's conducting. Well, Robbie.
Yeah.
What we got going on next week?
Andy, that is such a good question. I'm going to answer it.
Do it.
It's Superman 2.
Now, we may or may not be covering both. Should we find that out like right now before we say anything?
You know what? They can find out next week if we're going to watch it.
That's fine. That's
one of us
fine.
watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at least watch the theatrical cut.
Yeah. Although the
at
Donner
least do that.
version is apparently very different. Apparently the Donner cut, they actually went and like, there's like unfinished scenes in it and stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah, and they like brought the Marlon Brando scenes back into it.
Interesting.
It's very, very different. But
Okay.
I am interested.
I am also interested. This sounds like we're probably just going to do the theatrical cut.
If I can find the Donner, I will do both.
Okay.
I will still
if we
probably
did-
only write one song.
Oh, yeah. What if we did the theatrical cut and then maybe in the future we do the Donner cut?
I don't know how different they are.
Hmm.
That becomes the problem.
Yeah.
Because we do run the risk of just doing the same movie twice.
Right. They would do like a boner sode.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll find out.
Yeah, find out next week.
We're doing Superman 2. Andy, where can they find our music?
You go to Spotify, Deezer, Apple Music, wherever you get your music, and you search the Royds. You'll find a bunch of collections of podcast songs, but also studio recordings. Now, if you want everything, I mean all the podcast songs, including guest songs, bonus songs, every single song by the Royds, you go to TheRoyds.bandcamp.com, you will find just that, everything. And we really appreciate you doing so. But also on the YouTube, you will find all the songs. Robbie, please tell them a little more about the socials.
You go to Instagram. You go to TikTok. You go to YouTube. You go to Reddit. You type in TheRoydsBand. There we are, there we be. Click the link and you'll see everything we post. Mostly just promoting this podcast and our music. Wow. Send us an email at roydsrevue@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Wherever you're listening to us, give us a 5-star rating and review. Send us an email. Comment down below. Comment on Spotify. Do all that great stuff.
Yeah. Well, next week, Superman 2. Join us. I'm looking forward to it. And we're, of course, in preparation for Superman.
Oh, the James Gunn version.
Going out. Yeah, I'm finna watch that.
I'm looking forward to it, but one thing I really like about this is that it's just Superman, and you already see in this new one, there's like Green Lanterns, and there's a Hawk Girl, I think.
Yeah, because they're building a universe.
And I'm like, just give me soups. Just give me soup.
Yeah, I think that if this goes well, it will breathe new life into the superhero genre and building a universe. If this does not go well, this is the nail in the coffin for big universe type stuff. And people are we're going to go back to like, okay, there's a singular adventure.
Yeah, which they shouldn't anyway, but.
I mean, I like crossover stuff. I like
build your single adventures, and then after you have a bunch of successes, find a reason to bring them together.
Yeah, or like do good. Do good.
Yeah. Hey, do good.
Hey, do good already. If it's naturally there, yeah, do it. But if you have to like strain to get it there, no.
Exactly. Well,
kind of like a duker. You know?
Fascinating insight as always.
Thanks, man.
All right. Next week, we're doing Superman 2. Thank you for listening. Bye, everybody.
We'll see you lady.